Hello, hello, Smash Brothers enjoyers. We are here with the finale of the top 64, our last matches of Saturday leading into this top 16. Real quick, before we do that, I want to throw a quick shout out to Taizai, the person who is running this quad stream. If you are enjoying the quad stream, if you want to see it at more places, make sure to request your favorite major organizer to hire Taizai because they are doing an incredible job. Thank you so much, Taizai.
Yeah, Taizai is really making this function the way that only Taizai would be able to. So
absolutely,
I'm glad that we've been able to get it. Otherwise, we might have had Light versus Riddles for 17th off stream, which would have been a travesty, but BTS would never let that happen.
They would never let that happen. BTS, obviously, amazing organization, doing a great job putting this whole main stage together, and it's just one of the best put together events I've been to in a long time. So I'm really happy to be here, really happy to be a part of it. Thank you so much for hiring me, and thank you so much for putting on this amazing Smash Bros. We have some incredible sets coming up tonight because everyone here is so good, but the upsets have been wild.
There have been a lot of them, and I mean, close calls and full upsets alike. It's been all over the place. I mean, yeah, some of your favorite players and some of the best players are still in winners, but some of them are also in the losers bracket, and for the most part, that is what we are going to be observing here on the side stream. We got the brackets pulled up next to us as well, but you can also see who's coming up. MVD, we saw just go down earlier on the main stream, will be taking on Nazareth, and in another Snake match, Shogun will be taking on Quinn. So if you're trying to learn from Snake, keep your eyes double-crossed to both sides. Also, Liquid's Atorier and 34, which I'm very excited to see 34 in a major because they are an amazing Olimar, getting the opportunity to go up against somebody who's very well familiar with that matchup. And, of course, down there on the bottom right, Nico and Chase, a SoCal team kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate. Chase having to take out Elvis to come here and then also have to play against SoCal once again. But at a SoCal major, what can you expect? And, you know, we're gonna see a lot of the best players in their regions now because this is where everything's been eliminated. And Nazareth on the side versus MVD is gonna be a really interesting match because, you know, Inkling does have a little bit of a hard time dealing with the barrage of explosions that Snake brings out, but at the same time, he can absolutely, you know, just catch Snake when he goes super high, catch him out of that Nikita, and, you know, catch him out of that Cypher, and have a little bit of disruption for Snake's gameplay.
The last time that I ever thought about this matchup was Low Tier City 7, and that was back when Cosmos was playing Inkling. Yeah, it was against MVD, I do believe, in this matchup. And, you know, back at the time, we were like, hey, this seems like a pretty good matchup for Inkling, right? Because you've got the splatter shot that can instantly detonate grenades. Obviously, you're able to apply additional knockback if you're able to get, you know, splatter shots or the rapid jabs or what have you if you get the ink on Snake. But that's like a really key part to that matchup. I mean, it's really key to Inkling's core gameplay as a whole. But, I mean, you can see, right, that is still really, really hard to pick up those KOs. Snake at 160%, that's like, if MVD got KO'd now, that's on like the low end of KOs in this matchup.
Yeah, this is something where we expect to see Snake living over 200 almost every single stop.
Yeah,
and we see
that's going to happen.
He's using that splatter shot. But, you know, just because you blow up the grenade doesn't mean you're getting that much out of it. On the other side, in the top right, we see Quinn and Shogun starting off a little bit of a Smash 4 match with these 2 stocks to 2 stocks. Already, you know, trading back and forth. This is another interesting matchup where Palu has a lot of tools at dealing with Snake at the, like, close to mid-range, but still has a really hard time getting through those grenades because they're, like, Palu's normally good at zoning out with projectiles and being able to like stop their opponent from sitting back and doing those things, but Snake sort of is able to bypass that with how good grenades are at just going through, and they can eat the entirety of an auto reticle. And, you know, if you are too aggressive with your with your explosive flame, Snake can just get in and make you take a ton of damage. But right now, Quinn is showing to be very proficient in that matchup. Notably, AC and Quinn play all the time, and AC is an incredible Snake player. So really excited to see how this matchup shapes up. But right now, Nazareth and MVD are still going strong, and Nazareth is traded back and forth again so far. Kimono.
I mean, 2 stocks apiece, you know, still about getting close to 3 minutes into the game. I was about to say not anymore, but that grenade came through. And then MVD had the C4 down as well. Like, again, it's just so hard for Inkling to get a KO in this matchup because you also think about the fact that the roller, I mean, there's the up throw to up air, not, you know, getting the KO even though it connects, but the roller is also in danger of being interrupted by the grenades, and then Snake also gets popped out of the berry because it's plenty of knockback at those kill percents. So it's a really, really big struggle for Inkling in this matchup just because you don't have access to easy kill tools. And speaking of big kill tools, by the way, over on that right stream, Shogun and Quinn has ended game 1, and it is in the favor of Quinn taking down the best Japanese Snake.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is not super surprising to me, as, you know, Quinn, like I said, very, very comfortable in this matchup versus Snake, and Shogun is going to be the one who has to, you know, do that adaptation, do something a little bit different. We might even see Shogun pull out, you know, another character perhaps, but, oh, MVD.
Nazareth, yeah.
Taking that first game over Nazareth. And, yeah, I mean, really impressed, by the way. Nazareth coming so far. Nazareth is a player from NorCal who's been making some big waves. Was previously unranked before this season, but this is the first season that they've been ranked in NorCal, so really cool to see them coming out to a major and making a big splash, playing Inkling on a box. Oh,
interesting, on box, too. Dude, I like seeing people, like, switch over to the box, too, just because it get to save your hands, man.
Yeah.
Like, people saving their hands and switching over to a new controller, I'm always in support of that. By the way, I'm just looking at all the characters that are here. This looks like early 2019 meta.
Yeah,
we got Snake, Palu, Inkling, Shulk, and Olimar, and Wolf.
Yep.
Like, these are all just, like, super early meta characters that, like, if you told me this would be 4 people playing on stream at the same time in 2022, first of all, it'd be like, we're doing 4 streams at once.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, where's the Steve? Where's the Kazuya? Nah, that was all last stream. Last stream, it was a lot of Steve and a lot of Kazuya, but right now, we're seeing that base level meta. And in the bottom left,
I like getting to see Steve and Kazuya because we don't get it at home anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We banned them.
Shout out to Texas, by the way, banning Steve and Kazuya.
And also Rob, apparently, because that's what the people wanted. We just went like, hey, so how did you like that? What do you want to do? And they were like, Rob also. And we were like, we'll give it a try if that's what you want.
Aren't there like a lot of Robs in Texas too?
A lot of, in our region specifically, where we're doing, and it's also not the whole region. It's just one weekly.
Yeah.
But it is the big weekly, and yeah, we're trying some stuff. But
yeah.
I get to see none of that. I get to see some good old base game roster going on, and MVD, man, really starting to lord over Nazareth in that game number 2 over there on the left, and man, Quinn Shogun also running pretty even.
Yeah, I think that this is a matchup where trading is very, very common. A lot of times you're going to see those back airs hit into the grenades, hit into, you know, something else that's gonna like put percent on both players. So right now, though, it seems like Quinn is really adept at avoiding those grenades. I haven't seen him do any trades for a while now. So I'm super impressed, and you know, I think it's just a testament to his practice in the matchup.
That's what I was going to bring up while I was watching the game is, yeah, that lack of trades is really, really impressive. And just the precision that he's playing with, right? Like, Palu obviously has such good movement that you don't have to be that committal, but out of the corner, sometimes you just really do have to commit. We can talk about other Palus doing well, by the way, on that bottom right screen, which I'll point to correctly this time there. As Snake helpfully says as well. Nico and Chase nearing the end of this game 1. The denouement makes it look like it's going to be Chase's game to win. And remember that he is also part of the Arcadian. Like, he is qualified to play in both ends of that. And he is doing really well in both brackets.
And speaking of Arcadian, 34 is just taking the first game. Wow, that was really impressive. I mean, this is definitely a matchup where, you know, 34, lesser known player, not quite as prolific as Liquid's Atorier, and taking that first game after being very far behind in it. We saw some good adaptation from 34, and we'll see if that's something that's going to keep up, or if Atorier is going to be able to turn that around.
And I would expect there to be some adaptations in there too, just because I know Atorier has played Shutun at least a couple of times.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other Olimars there are in Japan that have like tons of success, but I mean, at the very least, I know that's a matchup Atorier has had to face, and with the Wolf as well.
Gotta cut you off real quick. Nazareth just did the nastiest combo. No, it's not the nastiest. It was a sick combo though. He did back air, roller into down air, hit Snake up on the platform, shield the get up attack, up throw, up air, killed it like the start of the string was 60 or something like that. It was like a nice little 4-piece combo, and you love to see it out of Nazareth, but MVD quickly turning the tables and getting it with that Nikita.
And speaking of snake problems, by the way, Shogun, I think, dropped to the just C4 timer or missed it. I just saw Snake get blown up to end the game. It could have also been an explosive play. I was paying attention to the set that you were actually talking about. But that's Quinn going up 2-0 again on some really, really strong international talent right there. I mean, I'm not trying to keep my eyes peeled on 4 games at once.
All right, here's the deal. You watch these two. I'll watch these two for hype moments, and we'll just switch back and forth whenever we need to.
But Nico's getting a comeback. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nico. Maybe we'll do some Shulk cheating. For those who don't know, Shulk cheats.
Well, yes. He has a button that is dedicated to cheating. back in Smash 4, it was like, oh, this is fine, whatever. And then they went, we're going to do the Hyper Monado arts in this game. And everybody is going to hate it or love it. And personally, I'm on the side that loves it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just such an incredible character with a variety of options to use. And then sometimes he's like, I'm just going to forward air. That's all I need. But it's fun. It's a fun character. And 34, bottom left, still looking really good in this match. I mean, his last stock. And still has yet to let Atorier in on him. I mean, this is a really impressive way of just stopping the aggression of Wolf and almost gets that down air. Could have been the game. And now another setup. No, tries to go for the down tilt, but Atorier with a really nice downward angled fire Wolf.
And been just tossing the Wolf back off stage. 34 is doing a really good job of managing the Pikmin, having really useful ones out off, and lots of those purples. Up 2-0 on Liquid's own Atorier. 34 is absolutely blooming in this tournament right now. Meanwhile, in the upper left, MVD, gonna go ahead and point to that. That's the wrong direction. MVD, it's on your side. Won 3-0 over Nazareth. Again, just a really, really difficult matchup for Inkling to actually secure those KOs, and maybe looking down the barrel of another 3-0 if Quinn can turn things around. This time I'll point to the right one against Shogun, but Shogun has made some good adaptations and is currently holding on to a lead.
Yeah, I mean, Shogun finally securing a big lead here, 3 stocks to 1. Really impressive. I mean, I think one of the biggest things about playing somebody who knows the matchup really well is they have set play that they're already ready for in this matchup. So you have to adapt to their sort of style of approaching it. And then once you do that, sometimes it'll force them into a counter adaptation, and you're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. So it's sort of a little bit of a dance, and sometimes you'll see it reflected in the game count. Like this up 2-0. Okay, now I know what you're doing. Now I'm going to win a game as Shogun, and it seems like that's how this is going to go down.
Reversing that momentum can be really important, and it looks like Shogun is just on the verge of at least turning this game around, and does with the up tilt. So the Quinn Shogun set will continue with Shogun finally getting on the board. Meanwhile, down in the bottom left, Atorier has switched it up into the Pokemon trainer for the game 3. The character that I think most people know Atorier for more. Obviously, they do split their gameplay pretty evenly between the Pokemon trainer and the Wolf these days, but that Pokemon trainer is really where they made their name, and I do at least appreciate seeing them give it a try after the first 2 with the Wolf didn't really go their way.
Yeah, I think I've only seen Atorier on Wolf today, so definitely interesting to see them switch it up and seeing a little bit of success so far. Almost saw their shield broken with a down smash setup from 34. When you have 2 purple Pikmin and you're close enough that both of them on the down smash will hit the shield, it is almost an instant shield break. But yeah, you got to be a little careful on the ledge there. Olimar so easily able to snipe that. But gets it right back with that up B.
Sorry, they have the setup right in front of us where the photographers are taking pictures of the players for like their top 16 like banners or whatever. Moki just gave like the cheesiest 2 thumbs up to the camera I've ever seen in my life.
I'm a big Moki fan.
That might be the best picture of the entire weekend. Let's go, Moki.
And right now, Nico and Chase is a pretty close match so far. Obviously, Chase is up a little bit in percent, but Nico is playing Shulk, and that character can cheat at any point, pull out the smash art. But right now, he's going to fall to the back air. So close match so far, but still, Chase holding onto that lead pretty well.
Yeah, really well done by Chase actually so far in this game, because if I recall, Nico actually was playing with a pretty decently hefty lead. But again, this is the kind of player that Chase is, right? Like, they are so good at hanging tough and making like small adaptations, like sort of the Louis Money school of thought, right? Although you wouldn't know it if you only watched Louis Money this weekend, because that guy is playing with ferocity.
Yeah, Luis is absolutely clutching so far. I mean, shout out to Luis, making top 16, and that's going to be incredibly exciting. Right now, Atorier getting that stock and bringing 34 down to the last one. We're going to see if this adaptation is enough. And what a great combo, but erupted protected by the whistle. Such a powerful tool in this matchup.
In this matchup in particular against Ivysaur, where so many like single hits and ones that are very active can set up for, I mean, every single one of your stocks, right? Like that will result in death, and 34 has been pretty liberally using the whistle to their biggest advantage right now. No regrab. That first stock we saw, Atorier dropped to that regrab with Ivysaur. They're being much more careful going up against 34 now this time, but they are going to be pushed to last stock here.
Yeah, in the bottom right, Nico and Chase are also in a last stock, but Chase is going to clutch it out with a nice shield to the face as 34 is still bringing this back now. 73-72 has Atorier off stage. And
good lineup of Pikmin too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's the big damage from the white Pikmin, 136% just out of nowhere. This could be 34 set to win at this very moment, and Atorier taking their time in the corner. One more purple connection could be it. Perfectly timed switch.
Oh, wow,
not enough to do it.
And he switches back to Squirtle, which is kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, quick switch out, but wow, that F smash from long range. 34 3-0 on Atorier.
That is a really, really big win. I wouldn't call it a breakout because we've known for a while how good 34 is, but that will indeed be the win for them. Big job on them moving up. Speaking of moving up, I want to move up one screen here on the left to inform you that we have another set starting in case you haven't been watching. Yoshifu, who took out Ken earlier on this very quad stream, is now taking on Machu in the Belmont versus the Rob. I don't know. I think that's 2 away from making it in the top 16, if I'm not mistaken. So still a lot of stakes.
That's, let's see, 3.
After this one, I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If they win, the winner of these will have 2 more matches to make it to top 16.
Yes. The Yoshifu right now, I mean, going up against a really, really difficult matchup against Rob because he does not always have to engage in your, I don't know, your trap-centric gameplay that you have with the Belmonts, right? I want to touch on that a little bit more, but I do want to talk about Quinn versus Shogun right now, which is maybe reaching the end of that set. 2 stocks for Quinn and only 1 left for Shogun. Up tilt will push it to last stock apiece, but still sitting at an unhealthy percentage. Quinn is just a couple of hits away from punching his ticket to, I mean, deeper in the bracket, but a really, really big win nonetheless.
Yeah, and good usage of that throw armor to not get hit by the grenade, but the back here is going to do it. Quinn 3-1 over Shogun, and moving on to the bracket. Oh man, that's right into another snake. Winner of that goes and plays MVD.
Wow. Well, the great news for Quinn is that they're warmed up to play against Snake, right? And I do think that Shogun and MVD are actually pretty similar, but we'll have to see how that unfolds later. Right now, we're going to go take a look at the other Palu matches. Chase also looking to close out his set for the Palu Nation up against Nico, has the 2-0 lead and 1 clean stock ahead. Nico, I mean, as much as I've seen in this set so far, hasn't done too much of that cheating. Chase really forces you to play an honest game.
Yeah, I mean, Chase is doing everything right to make sure that cheating doesn't happen. He's put up his binders next to his homework. He's watching those eyes, making sure nobody's copying off his paper. And right now, honest games are not favoring Nico at all. Back air,
no jump.
Ooh, really, really good early up B. I mean, that's what it takes to make it back. But even though you work that hard to come back, it's still Chase's game to lose.
He needs to do some macaroni and cheating right now to make this one back. I mean, he is back on stage, but jump art almost sends him immediately into the blast zone after that back air. Chase just 1 more hit away. Send the Shulk away 1 more time. Lather, rinse, repeat, but man, Nico's still holding on, hanging tough. Yeah, Explosive Flame will do it. Chase, San Diego native, going to move along in the bracket. A clean win over Nico.
Yep, and in the top left, we see a really nice mash out of Yoshifu, and able to get out of that Rob down throw, not going to be hit with the up tilt, and now it's anyone's game. Obviously, Machu started off really well, but Yoshifu has slowly clawed his way back into this game with a couple good neutral wins. Now, just needed to take that stock. Obviously, Belmont is a character with some of the craziest setups in the game. At any point, we could see like a returning cross up B or something like that, confirm into a crazy kill, just like T3 Dominate here, but Yoshifu definitely is making a good name for the Belmont. right now.
I'm almost sad that Hazmat isn't here to commentate this because Yoshifu looks absolutely phenomenal. And in this matchup, right, you really have to hunt for, you know, not trap setups and hope that your opponent falls into it and makes a mistake. You have to really actively set up for big kills with this up throw. No, Simon is a very, very heavy man. He's a good man. That means he's heavy, but the down smash, that's going to be enough. Machu taking that game 1 against Yoshifu. And that will give us an opportunity to talk about another set that is just beginning its game 1. It's actually already in the throes of the second stock. Enhanced PV and Varun are getting right into things right here. Enhanced PV playing with a little bit of a deficit. Varun just one of those combo monster refits that you don't often get to see.
NorCal! NorCal!
Oh my God!
Let's go, Varun. All right, no bias, though.
Varun needs to be invited to the Blue Lock Initiative. That's all I'm saying after seeing that edge guard. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he has snipes on deck. Like, if at any point you're like, all right, how do you send a ball at a 22-degree angle? Varun will have a setup for it, and he is ready to pull it out at any point. So Enhanced PV is going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to take down Varun, but nice job there. A little bit too aggressive out of the corner, and yeah, Enhanced is going to eat that for breakfast.
You can't really just do that ledge planking that we think can against some other characters. Cloud's hitboxes are just too big, and you know, especially going that low below the ledge where your rhythm is pretty much guaranteed to go to the ledge with that super hoop. Enhanced PV picking up an easy stock and down to 1 apiece. Anybody's guess as to who's going to take the initiative in this set, but again, you have to be so terrified of the damage output Varun can do in just a couple of moves.
Yeah, doesn't have that Kaioken online yet, but he is going to get it, but takes an up air for it, so let's see if it was worth it. It certainly seems like it was. 2 hits already, 3, and now Varun poised to take this game if he gets one more big one.
We'll want to try to do that before the deep breathing runs out, and it is now out, so may need to get tricky, right, with that soccer ball, send Enhanced PV off stage, or get the berry. I love the idea of the forward air. If you got that back hit, you get a spike and immediately get another tech chase, but you don't need it anymore. Varun, this is what I'm talking about, right? 1 hit leads to so much momentum with this gameplay, and we'll get to talk about that a little bit more. Right now, we got to take another look at Machu versus Yoshifu, by the way, because, I mean, we saw a crazy shield pressure sequence up there.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was like, oh, is that shield going to break? Is it okay? But it seems like Machu was ready, and nice up tether there. Belmont able to use their like different ways of tethering to get around the ledge trap a little bit better, and Yoshifu gets this stock in a matchup that we talked about is not particularly good. A lot of Belmonts really don't like it.
Again, Rob is just such a tough matchup to run into because it's you have to have a real paradigm shift in how you approach the matchup. Love that little custom combo off the gyro, though. I like the preparation for Yoshifu. And again, it's down to getting a ton of damage in 1 opening in this matchup because Rob is obviously going to be able to do the same to you. So as a Belmont player, you have to be really confident in being able to use Rob's tools against him and really take things to the max.
Yeah, staying on top is difficult in the matchup, but we saw Yoshifu does have the technology to grab the gyro as he comes out of the corner. So right now, looking good for Yoshifu, and going a little bit aggressive there. Sometimes that'll shield poke if you are ambitious enough, but that time was a little bit too much.
Yeah, no, mashed the combo even though it didn't fully connect, did not confirm it or anything. But Machu is the one on last stock first. There is plenty of damage already built up, and Yoshifu going to try to cover the platform actually instead of the ledge, knowing that Rob can just kind of ignore the ledge. You may as well use your aerials to cover it. Up smash, no sweet spot, so Machu holds on for just a moment longer, and again.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just 1 hit away. Oh, did get that, but doesn't get the full confirm, and now Machu almost getting caught by that returning cross to up air, and this could be it. Belmont is so bad in disadvantage, and Machu is extending it so well. Don't jump, and the rotor arm comes out, but it's not in time, and Yoshifu isn't quite in the right spot, but now he's good. Wait on that. 4th throw, not going to hit just yet, but the cross might do it.
Wow.
It does, yeah. At like 180, that's around when the cross starts killing, all the way in the corner. Am I crazy, or did Varun and Enhanced PV already have a game?
Yeah, they did already have a game.
Varun won that game, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Varun won the first game.
I think that is correct.
Okay, cool. Just double checking because I Sometimes, you know, there's so much going on. We've got 3 matches going on. I don't know if I'm right.
There are a lot of matches going on, and it'll be interesting to see how this one unfolds. We do have another couple that are about to get started, particularly in the bottom right there. We can see that Chase and 34 are kicking things off. We just saw both of them have pretty decent wins. Now they will have to battle each other, and these are 2 people who very well could be playing in the Arcadian tomorrow also.
Yeah, I mean, also though, you see this matchup here? Ken versus T for 33rd. 33rd.
For 33rd?
These players have played in the grand finals of plenty of tournaments. I mean, I think they were in like top 3 of Crown together, and wow, this is absolutely insane that we're going to be seeing this match for 33rd. I mean, I thought Light versus Riddles for 17th was crazy, but this one, man, it might take the cake.
This really takes the cake. I mean, I'm pretty sure these 2 are both seeded to make top 8, and now one of them is going out. I'm going to try to do my PG stats match here. 9th, 13th, 17th, 25th, 30th. That's 5 placements below where they would have been seeded. And, I mean, for T, that might have been even higher, right? For T, it might be down to like 6 or 7.
Yeah, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, Ken falling to Yoshifu, of all people, who's up in the top left. And Yoshifu has been putting on an amazing performance this weekend, as we see, dealing with Machu pretty well so far already. But, you know, and then T, I believe, who did T lose to? Chronos PT.
Man, dude, Chronos has had some like top 10 player in the world type beat wins. Like, got the win on Tweak at Port, now getting a win on T as well. Man, you guys got to be watching. We saw Apollo Kage's winner side top 16. These NA Snakes are going crazy. I've been saying for so long that Snake is a top 5 character and nobody will listen to me, and I hope that you do now. Because I'm just saying, that character is really good. I can't think of a lot of things he can't do.
Yeah, he's a very, very powerful character, and it's incredibly scary to go against. But we don't have any stakes on the screen right now, so let's stay focused on these matches because we got a lot going on. 34 versus Chase is sort of going 34's favor right now. Chase is succumbing to this pressure of Olimar, and almost fell for that one. But Enhanced PV is coming back on Varun after falling behind early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting close to, I mean, being a 2-0 lead for Varun, a couple more hits on the Cloud off stage could certainly result in that for him. NPV hitting him back a couple more times. And again, I want to go back to you talking about the Chase versus 34 set as well, because looking at those 2, right,
just keep going.
For Palu, it's really tough in that matchup at times, just because it's harder for her to pressure shorter characters. Against taller characters, she can really mix up where on your shield she's going to be throwing out these aerials, and doesn't have to always space them right at the bottom of the ground at predictable timing. And 34, it seems like, has definitely taken really nice advantage of that, but great read on the armor right there from the whistle by Chase. Leaving it up at 1 stock apiece, and also Varun going up 2-0 against Enhanced PV right down there.
Yep. Oh man, Yoshifu is also playing incredibly well right now. Up 2 stocks to 1 and is like leading in percent now, as gets a little bit of a returning cross combo. You love to see it. Right now, nice combo by Machu, setting up a trap of his own, but man, he's never falling for these. Gets the falling up air, and that
was a big down smash shield break from Ken right there, who has, I mean, really found a lot of success in this matchup against T after switching to the Sephiroth. Obviously, you get to deal with the range that Pac-Man plays at a whole lot better, and you don't have to, you know, always play for the timeout, which somebody like Sonic is much more happy to do. Ken, definitely a more balanced style of Sonic. Sometimes, you know, we'll go in, we'll time out when necessary, but that's never what they really plan the whole game about. I'm interested to see how that set ends. Obviously, they're just getting started over there, and it's a bit important to note that Yoshifu going up 2-1 against Machu in that game in the bottom right. Maybe close to ending with that back throw. It will indeed. So Chase getting the first on the board. I hope that we keep a lot of audio on this Ken versus T set, by the way, if they continue to play on Animal Crossing stages, because it is Saturday night.
Yeah, buddy.
KK Slider.
The Slider is in the house, and I love it. I just love KK Slider. It's always amazing to listen to him. And man, there's so many good sets going on right now. It's incredible. It's incredible, just like the velocity at which things are moving right now. It feels like I am going at 100 miles an hour, as all of these sets are just incredible. So right now he's got the bell in hand. That's something that you are never happy to see as any player, but you know, Ken might be a little bit more prepared than most.
Have to see if he is continually able to deal with T playing around that fire hydrant, where a lot of people are going to be tempted to just attack it straight up, right? Take it out of commission, but it also makes you a little bit more easy to read. Playing around the bell, T has been holding onto this for a good 40-50 seconds. Ken just being so aware that light character like Sephiroth is going to go down immediately if that connects. So T is going to be the one playing with the lead going into the last stock.
Yeah, patience paying off for T, and is able to get that as, you know, Ken does find some hits, but still hasn't found that big confirm until now. Really good air dodge bait out. I mean, that's what you got to do against Pac-Man. Once he uses that resource of the hydrant, he has a lot less options to do while falling. So if you sniff out that air dodge, you got a big sweeping move like that, you're ready.
And T holding on to that Galaxium, which is so good for reversals off the ledge as well. I mean, not playing with a huge lead, but having the right bonus fruit in hand is always a really big deal for Pac-Man.
All right, this might be a timeout game. We're at 156. We're on the last stock. That's usually my indicator if the game is going to timeout. If it's under 2 minutes by the time the last stock starts. So
it is a little bit of damage. I mean, I don't know. I feel like T is playing very meticulously. Obviously, once you have the right bonus fruit in hand, and you can't really approach Sephiroth as Pac-Man unless they're really making big blunders. But we know that Ken is a pretty patient player overall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's for sure going there. I'm just saying this is where you need to consider that as both players. Like, once you're at 2 minutes on the clock, it might already be too late, right? Like, this is, we talked about it at 2 minutes. He's only hit 21% since then. That's nowhere near time to kill. So I think it's always something you have to be aware of as a top level player. The clock as both a resource, positively and negatively.
It is a win condition that you can certainly play to. I'll have to see if T is able to pull it off. A minute now left on the clock, and it certainly seems like the timer is going to be the way to go. But we have also seen Ken clutch out some timer stocks in the past.
And would be not surprised at all. But if we pop our attention to this top left match, I mean, Yoshifu versus Machu. After Yoshifu had a really commanding game last time, Machu is up 3 stocks to 1, and this is looking like a very much a Game 5 situation. Oh, the road arm almost does it, but it's so hard for Belmont to make comebacks like these. I mean, you just have to win so many neutral interactions to get so many reads on your opponent's recovery. And bottom left, we've got Enhanced PV taking that game over Varun. Now, bringing it to a respectable 2-1. Let's see if they're able to make it a Game 5 situation for him. Varun will clutch it out as 14-13. Yeah, this is a timeout.
Yeah, looking like T's game for sure. Just doesn't have to make any big mistakes here. Lots of use of the orange, too, to just stuff that Ken approach, who has to get something really big. I thought that might have been it, but it's not enough. T is able to play defensively. It goes to time, and T for Zeta Esports is going to, or Team Zeta, rather, is going to be the one to get that dub. Machu also getting the dub, like you mentioned, had a really big lead. Very difficult for Belmont to make those comebacks, so that is going to go to a Game 5. Might as well talk about that Enhanced PV and Varun set again, too, because they are going into a crucial Game 4 with Enhanced PV just getting that first one on the board. Now they'd be able to work with a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I also want to highlight this Chase vs. 34 game. 34 was up 94% to 0 in this last stock, but now Chase has sort of pulled out all the stops and is able to find a couple of hits, and now they're basically both at kill percentage if they find the right move. So something you have to be very wary of as Palu is that up smash out of shield or that grab with the blue, and that's going to take it.
I might be feeling blue after that one. 34 just kind of grabbing that one out of nowhere. And yeah, 1-1 on that one. Have to see how that unfolds, but again, got one game we can talk about right now, and that is Enhanced PV and Varun. Great recovery by Enhanced PV, the East Coast prodigy, really giving Varun some difficult stuff to work around right now. I mean, in those first couple of games, I feel like Enhanced PV was getting really bullish, trying to fight Varun head-to-head, but now has gotten a whole lot more patient and reliant on that sword to really do a lot of the work for him.
Yeah, I mean, so many upbeats in this corner, but finally fights their way out and used up almost all of the deep breathing timer. There it goes. Kaioken no longer up. And now Enhanced has a couple of options to kill in this corner. I mean, we know the back air and the dash attack are the big ones to be looking for, but when you mess with the shield, you get the swing, and that golf swing is going to be enough to get the stop.
Check out my golf swing, as they say. Varun fighting from a disadvantage right now, and not really able to find openings the way that he was earlier in the set. Right, Enhanced PV again playing the cards much closer to their chest. look at him just apply that pressure in the corner. Dash attack connecting as well. Could be a big edge guard, but great reversal by Varun. Enhanced PV did not put himself in a great position to edge guard and refused to bail out. Put them in a really tricky position, and Varun gets a big stop.
Yeah, who's edge guarding whom today? That's certainly scary. If you're enhanced PV, that makes you like never want to go out into the corner again. And that's one of the scary set play parts. That's like against Varun, when he hits you with something crazy, you like second guess yourself later in the game and later in the set. So definitely, we're gonna want to see if enhanced PV loses any confidence with that.
Does have limit available right now and uses it to take that stock right off the ledge, and I love that committal usage of it because I don't think we've really seen Enhanced PV get really aggressive with that limit, but now they have Varun potentially looking down the barrel of a Game 5.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Varun sitting back and opting to throw projectiles instead of going in while the deep breathing is up. That's usually when you want to fight Cloud head-to-head, but it seems like Varun is a little bit tentative, a little bit hesitant to go like directly fight because of how good Enhanced PV's defenses have been all game and all set.
Just holding that center stage as well, but again, just some of the aggressive moments from Enhanced PV are what really aren't working out for them. Varun has definitely been able to allay a lot of those problems, and with that deep breathing act, like you said, like the DBZ Kaioken, like it gives you an opportunity to really get a quick stock where you wouldn't expect it. Love that mix around the platform from Enhanced, though. Does have Varun at the ledge, and as a Cloud, this is your opportunity to strike deep.
Yeah, right now we see in the top left, Yoshifu getting killed with that up throw, so we see a bit of a closer game than the last one, and especially on the same stage, a little surprising that's how it's going. But and in the bottom right, 34, slight bit behind Chase, but obviously able to even that up at any point. Just needs one more big hit. And Ken versus T, what do you think? Is it going long again?
You know, the game has definitely been a bit more quickly paced from what I've seen. I mean, yes. Ken, oh my goodness.
I saw it a second. I saw it a second in advance.
Well, what I was going to say was that Ken is getting sauced by a crazy combo from T, and now T gets to slow the game down if he wants to, and we have seen him opt for that plenty of times. Had to play around the fire hydrant very carefully, though, because Ken had already forward aired it once. A second one would definitely activate it. Great stall here by T as well, and the recovery takes a little damage in return, but they are absolutely still in control of the game.
Yeah, Varun falling right there to the back here. It seems like Enhanced PV has been holding the lead for a long time, and now it seems like it's a Game 5 over there. Game 4 for Chase versus 34, and Game 5 for Yoshifu versus Machu. We already got some hot sets early into this block.
I'm really interested to see how Yoshifu and Machu ends. Both players on last stock, and this is a Belmont on early percent against Rob. This is one of those moments where Rob doesn't have the percentage lead, and yet I'm more scared for the Belmonts because I know what Rob can do, but no, sir. The Holy Water into the forward smash is enough, and Yoshifu clutching out that set 3-2. Really good stuff to him, and carrying the torch for the Belmonts this weekend.
Absolutely, carrying that fire, carrying that Holy Water, and even though T3 Dom isn't here, Yoshifu making sure to use the special taunt, the special end screen. Those who know that specific end screen with the whips, that you have to hold a specific button to make that happen.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that one doesn't happen normally. I think was up taunt? I don't know. You hold one specific button and he'll use the whips end screen.
I'm surprised that Yoshifu had the presence of mind to do that after winning a close set.
Yoshifu always does that. That's a signature.
Well then, in that case, I'm less surprised. I know I saw a couple of times where Yoshifu did not do that.
Maybe not always, but I've definitely seen it
end of a set.
In the end of a set,
yeah,
almost every time. So that's definitely a cool thing to see. But right now in the top left, once again we are on 2 minutes with 11% on T. This is really scary for Ken because even if you start winning a couple interactions, you're still behind 47%. It's super hard to get that kill on T because he's so evasive and so able to just fight, out of the corner and make it so it's threatening for you to come in.
Well, and now you just really can't put pressure on T when he's got the bell. Now you have to play really carefully, and T knows that he is in control of this game. One bell, maybe even at center stage, a forward smash might get the KO. Pac-Man's forward smash is so strong.
It's wild. That move is messed up. And yeah, it's just... All right, I'm holding this bell. I ain't going to use any other moves. Oh, there's the F smash. Center stage, and you were right. It gets the stock. And it's hard because you're at a minute and 21 seconds left. You know what happened last game if you're Ken. You got timed out. And it's scary to not try to make something happen, but when you make one small misstep, T is there. He's ready for you. And, yep, 2-0 for T so far.
Well, we've also got a 2-2 between Enhanced PV and Varun. This Game 5 is chugging along nicely, and Enhanced PV, these past 3 games, has had momentum that Varun has not been able to match. We'll see if he can carry that all the way to the end. Again, this young prodigy is trying to prove himself here at Mainstage and make that deep run. Varun so far not going to get in his way, at least near the end of this set. Enhanced has been all over him. 3-1 lead now.
Yeah, Enhanced is Enhanced with that limit. Isn't gonna hit this one this time, but the side B off the corner. Whoa, that was interesting. He fell out of the side B. It's gonna get a nice little back air to confirm that first stock. I mean, this is still doable for Varun, but at the same time, always scary to try to come back against a character like Cloud, who just has really consistent poke options and really, really good neutral.
And being up on that top platform, right, a lot of characters can't really pressure you while you're up there as Elite Fit. Cloud is definitely one of them with that back air and even slapping that soccer ball back Varun's way. I love that Enhanced PV is being patient at the ledge, right? Sometimes you have that lead, you really want to apply that pressure, and you're not able to. And we're going to talk a little bit about how Chase won that set 3-1 against 34 later, but we have got to keep focused on this Game 5 right now. It could go either way. With Varun having this TP thing available, but Enhanced PV able to evade.
Yeah, I think Varun was trying to start a really low back air there to punish the landing of Enhanced PV, but unfortunately was not able to get it going. And now Varun does not have Kaioken, just has to do it default Wii Fit, but he's putting the pressure on. He's got that corner pressure, and Enhanced is going to be powered up here. The limit is on deck, and it's scary for Varun to try to come out of this corner. He's using evasive option after evasive option. The up throw comes out. Almost timed out on deep breathing. We have a couple seconds left. There it is. And yeah, that was a little bit too late by Enhanced PV. Tried to throw out the limit blade beam, but still with the back air. Going to secure Game 5 and move on in the bracket against Varun.
Oh man, that's sad. Really good stuff there for Enhanced PV. Getting a really big win over Varun and staying alive in the bracket. And of course, we mentioned earlier, Chase staying alive after a 3-1 win over, that was 34.
Yep.
Down in that bottom right there. Let's go back to the top right where we
34
have...
getting 33rd.
it just seems so right yet so wrong.
It was kind of perfect.
Well, we have two of, the most premier players in the world, particularly at their characters. Look at that creative recovery from T. Up 2-0 against Ken right now and really just has not relinquished any of the momentum. I mean, Ken has really been on top of things so far in this losers bracket, but having to run into T so early really has been a nightmare for him. Has not been able to figure out how to stop this Pac-Man game plan, and that theme has thus far continued.
You know how I talked about the 2-minute warning on the last stock? We're at the 4-minute warning on the 2 stocks.
Yeah.
So this is, once again, one of those things where T does not have to time out Ken here, but the fact that the clock is working so well with him, yeah, you're not going to get 59.
A little too late.
Come on. But yeah, the clock is working so much against Ken right now. He is behind by 60% plus a stock.
Oh,
and
wow.
every time T recovers, he eats 10 seconds. It's just like, it's so scary to to see something like that, because you're like, all right, I gotta poke him, but
nice.
That one is a little bit more than a poke. It's a slice, and it's nice. And that's gonna be the stock, so not too much of a lead for T right now, but still something to consider is that clock, as T is great at using it as a resource.
You are playing with a lead, and that is the important part, right? You are controlling the momentum. You are not trying to approach Ken. Ken is trying to approach you. Double spot dodge, trying to bait out anything from Ken, but again, we know he has the patience to contest with this kind of style. Man, T really he does not want to throw the first punch.
No, I mean, a lot of times T will just never pull the trigger until it's guaranteed. Guaranteed. I had to do it once.
I see what you've done.
Oh yeah, but nice armor. And now, speaking of a lead, Ken is the one with it, and this is super scary for T now, because he has put himself in this position where there's a very short amount of time left, and trying to approach against Ken is a tall task indeed. As Sephiroth is a tall player, and
the Z drop bell
a little bit of a T-shirt speed used against him.
Yeah, no, I love that. And Ken normally has not been able to actually get the bell in his own hands. And oftentimes it's just really risky to even try, but they'd have the perfect opportunity up in the air that time. And now I want to see how things go with Ken in control of the pace of the game, being able to play back and make T come to him.
Yeah, so couple interesting things happening here. One is Ken, you know, I think Sephiroth is a really good ledge hang. So what was happening is normally Pac-Man can throw the bell on the ground, and it'll catch your little hand hanging there. And that is a very dangerous thing because he can just down smash or F smash the end of it. Wow, nice job.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say another thing is getting the bell in your hand is a lot simpler when you shield the thrown bell with a neutral B. So there's two ways Pac-Man can throw a bell. One is he can throw it with a neutral B, or two is he can throw it after he's thrown it with a neutral B and picked it back up. So when he throws it with a neutral B, if you shield it, then you can always pick it back up. It no longer has a hitbox. There's nothing he can do. But if he throws it like normally after it's in his hand, you know, after he's holding it in his hand, that one you cannot pick up. You can still do the same thing where you shield it and then it doesn't have a hitbox anymore, but you have to be, you don't have to be as careful if you've shielded it because it just doesn't have a hitbox.
Yeah, it can't come back. That's very interesting to know and something that Ken definitely has kept in mind. It's pretty key. And another key thing is, again, we're ticking down to the last minute and Ken does not have the percentage lead. And this is one of the big parts of a good Pac-Man game plan, especially when it comes to these timeouts, is, you know, you can get a lot of that early percentage racked up, and Ken playing that Sephiroth doesn't really have the same options available to him, and T is trying to burn as much time as he can, not engaging with any of those angles that Sephiroth can cover.
Yeah, he's safe options on shield, but okay, 55%. That is one hit away from Sephiroth. If T messes up in the corner at all, he could be using this time against him. But a couple little hits. And
that was so crucial. Now it's a 40% lead and even a little bit more for T. Ken is going to need a ridiculous combo, a shield break or something, but T is not going to land on the ground. He is platforms and off stage until the day he dies, and I don't think we're going to see him dying at this point. Ken needs another massive read, and T, again, he's played this matchup enough to know how to stay out of that threat zone. Ken, 5 seconds left to make something big happen, and it's just not going to. He's out of there. T, 3-0 win over Ken, and that will eliminate Ken at 33rd. Two timeouts. All right, well, that was going to be, I mean, certainly one of the most exciting sets we've watched. I mean, going down to time is always exciting, especially when you've got other action that you can watch in the meantime while the time ticks down.
Yeah,
but
that's actually one of my favorite parts about this is just, you know, how we can use that time to just, you know, make it more exciting. Have these other matches. We have that on the back burner while we're talking about this other stuff. But for now, speaking of talking about other things,
I do want to talk about something real quick, and that is to say thanks to our title sponsor, Coinbase, for helping us make this event happen, guys. I mean, whether you're inexperienced with crypto or whether you're on the blockchain every day, Coinbase is the place to go if you really want to get yourself into that kind of investment. Coinbase has obviously been a big partner with BTS for a while, and they have continued to support Mainstage and all of these other events. So
check out. Oh, sorry, I was going to say.
I was about to just say it. Check them out on bts.gg/Coinbase, or click on the banner below and you can get yourself involved.
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, but do not go anywhere. We have 8 more matches for you coming up hot in this top 16. Stay tuned.
I'll be right back. Don't eat my pizza. Really? Just gonna eat all my pepperoni?
I thought you wanted cheese pizza.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Any move can be the last you make. In a war of the mind, you must adapt to change. Every mistake made, an opportunity to strike.
Check.
And when the ashes settle, only one will be crowned the victor.
Checkmate.
Victory. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Folks, hope you're having a wonderful evening. Welcome back to Mainstage 2022 here on the Quad stream, where we've got just a few more matches to wrap up before we've got our top 16 all decided. Hope you've been enjoying the event so far, because this has really been just wall-to-wall a great experience for me, at least here at the event. I hope it's been the same for you at home. May as well go ahead and say again that this is Kimona, that is Jet. I don't know why I referred to myself in the third person like I'm Ricky Henderson, but nonetheless, it's good to be here.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the Jet, the Jenga God, and I am excited for some more Smash Brothers. We got this top 16 coming in hot. A couple matches already queued up on the stream. You can see them right there. Yoshifu Enhanced PV, MVD, Quinn, Zomba T, and Chase Chronos. All players you can know and recognize, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see how all of this goes. I mean, there's so many matches here that could be, you know, top 4 at, like, for instance, Zomba T. This could literally be a grand finals right now, but it is happening with loser gets, what is this, 17, 20, 25th? I think 25th.
Something like that, yeah. And again, it's insane how early some people have to go out, but there have been, you mentioned this earlier, a lot of upsets at this tournament, and it has not been easy for anybody to find a path through the bracket, and certainly not on the side where T and Zomba have been. I mean, again, you're talking about two people who easily could be in grand finals. No, you know, last PGR we had, Zomba was ranked number 9. I think T might have even been higher had he attended more events in that period, but yeah, it's going to be crazy to see how this one turns out. Obviously,
yeah, he was too busy farming Europe.
I know that this is not T's favorite matchup to play. I was talking to Atomic earlier, one of the DFW Robs that we mentioned at one point. He said that he felt like he was actually pretty comfortable playing against T. Even had a couple of games where, you know, he beat the Kazuya, ran it really close against the Pac-Man as well. So I wonder if this is going to be a problem for T. Right now, Zomba really putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an aggressive grab of the bell there. So when you grab the bell, it forces you to go super low, which sometimes can put you in a bad situation, especially versus Rob. With that lingering hitbox, it lasts something like 7 or 8 frames when that down air comes out. And it's just really, really powerful way of stopping somebody from getting onto the stage. We'll talk about a couple other matchups now with Quinn versus MVD. Last match, we saw Quinn taking down Shogun in a pretty commanding fashion. So we're going to see if that is going to be the same result here as with, you know, Snake. Once again, one of the Quinn's most, you know, prevalent matchups. He's done it a bunch of times. MVD is a beast in himself.
Yeah, I know that MVD, you know, didn't go to a whole lot in the latter half of this year, because I know he had some health problems, and well, in-game he's got some health problems too, because Quinn is all over him with that downer. I mean, he has not let MVD really get anything started. And again, we talked about this after Quinn beat Shogun, and we knew that he was going to be fighting MVD afterwards, but being warmed up for a matchup means a lot, especially when you're going against the top-level talent in those matchups.
And speaking of top-level talent in those matchups, we have another match of the exact same matchup. Chronos versus Chase, and Chase is also familiar with that Snake matchup. I believe AC is also, I think they're all in SD. I don't know, I'm not sure exactly, but I think Chase, Chase, Quinn, and AC are all in SD, so they're super familiar with this type of thing. So we'll see if that is good enough for Chase to it. But right now, Chronos is way up in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen Chronos just really playing at kind of the best we've ever seen him today. And I mean, you can compare him to the way that MVD is playing, right? Like, Chronos is super high APM with the Snake, right? Like, putting out projectiles and B-reversing and flying all over the stage constantly, whereas MVD is a lot more slow and methodical. And I think that really shows you a big difference, because you also see the same high APM with Apollo Kage as Quinn does take that game 1 over MVD. I feel like a lot of the Brawl Vet Snakes are a lot more slow and methodical, right? Harkening back to those days of gameplay, and a lot of the new gen Snakes are like, wow, look at all the buttons you can press with this guy.
It's actually really funny. Chronos was at Edgeguard, and MVD was casting Edgeguard with me, and there was a bunch of things that Chronos was doing that MVD was like, wow, that's cool. I'm taking that. That's mine now.
Yeah, no, MVD is the king of saying, yo, that's mine now. I'm stealing that. He loves to give that kind of respect. By the way, I also got to give respect to that bottom left match, Enhanced PV and Yoshifu as well. This is a matchup that normally you would see being played online.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a Wi-Fi special.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see if this will be different offline, right? Being played on the side stream here at Mainstage. Well, you got one answer right there. Enhanced PV absolutely bowling over Yoshifu in those final moments. A T getting the first game over Zomba in that upper right stream. So we've got the first of many of these games already decided, and honestly,
Chronos trying to end this one too.
yeah, I feel like most of these have gone at least somewhat as expected, at least for these game ones. Very curious to see who comes out on top in that Chase and Chronos game one.
Yeah, this is sort of Chase getting more accustomed to the matchup. We talked about how Quinn was really ready for it, but Snake is a matchup unlike any other. You have to sort of like form yourself into the way that like you have to play against Snake, because it's very different, especially as Palu, a character who has to be a little bit more careful than she normally does, and that up tilt gonna get it done. Chronos secures the game, but it really looked like Chase was coming back into it. You know, that's sort of that they're adapting, you know, feel.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Chronos has earned that #1 spot in Colorado for a reason, right? Like for a long time it was Shu, and then everybody said that they were #1 in Colorado for a time, and that was a fun period. But now I think that we can pretty definitively say, well, yeah, it's Chronos.
Technically, Chronos is not currently #1 in Colorado. I was actually talking with him before this, because it's a big meme we have, you know, because there was the whole meme with Bang versus Chronos.
Yeah.
And then the real #1 was what Chronos has as his tag for a while, so it was super funny. But right now, I think Chronos is technically #2 because he's been traveling a lot and going to other things, and in Colorado does not count major wins for their PR.
Which, look, man, when you got a guy beating up Tweak, beating up Shuton, or wait, no, that might be the qualifier. Either way, right? Like Chronos has 2 like top 10 player in the world style wins. And,
yeah, absolutely.
You're saying that he's not your #1. It's kind of crazy.
Hey, you know, I'm as long as it's agreed upon what we're counting in the PR, I think it's usually fine. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to make that determination as a PR panel.
It's a humorous philosophy for sure, but I guess you don't want to get a rich get richer kind of scenario. So we'll see how that set plays out. Meanwhile, in the other Palu Snake match, still going the way we saw in game 1, Quinn versus MVD is still going the way of Quinn. I mean, you mentioned the amount of experience Quinn has in this matchup, and we already saw it showing off once, doing it again against MVD, although corner pressure could have been really big, but that forward tilt was a little bit too telegraphed.
Yeah, I mean, I think MVD has the power to adapt here, but it's at the same time, you know, it might not happen. We don't know exactly what how many levels Quinn has, because right now MVD has brought it back very close. And in the bottom left, speaking of bringing it back, Yoshifu was so far behind in this match, but has been able to claw his way back into this. But Enhanced PV hits that shield poke onto the Belmont in the corner, and that is this is looking dangerous for Yoshifu.
Now, I mean, on Smashville, right, if you get the Cloud off stage, really there's no way for him to get back. I mean, even if they know how to get around those Belmont ledge trap setups, you're still a Belmont controlling the stage, and that's a terrifying thing to deal with. Is the axe, the holy water, everything. But you have to continue this game state basically forever, and Yoshifu then has dropped a couple of these combos in really crucial moments in both of the sets we've seen.
Yeah, that was that up smash I think was supposed to be like a run up smash. Really nice tech there, but unfortunately not gonna time the up B in time, and falling there. Yeah, I think that was supposed to be like a run up smash. Usually that's what they do when you're trapped in the holy water. You run inside and you up smash, but it didn't work out, and Quinn is going to take that game against MVD, as we can see in the top left. It is a really good showcase of how Palu can deal with Snake's tools super well, but at the same time, you know, MVD, he's adapting.
He is an adaptation monster for sure. Again, like all of those veteran players, they really know how to make that set play work, but can he deal with the tools that Quinn has been throwing at him this whole time? That is going to be the really big question. So that set 2-0, moving on to game 3. We still have a couple sets that have not gotten to game 3 yet, and those are both of the ones on the right side between T Zomba and Chase Chronos. And that T Zomba set, man, I mean, they have really just been having a back and forth slugfest. Obviously, it's been a little bit slower paced, as you might expect with the T set, but also really making Zomba work for his chips.
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult for T to get these kills here, because Zomba is doing such a good job avoiding the normal setups, but really nice job there, T, knowing when to get up attack. Surprising, a lot of times when you get up attack versus the gyro, it eats you for it. So we'll see exactly how Zomba's going to get out of the corner here. No, just opting to go super high, but that does give T the time to grab the bell. But up tilt up air, no, he doesn't go for the up air.
Still stuck at the ledge too, which could be so big for Zomba, especially now that he's gotten around the bell. If he can continue to keep some pressure on T, not let him charge that up. And T knows that he wants to come towards with great patience from Zomba, letting him hold on. This will be a bell. No, it's actually the key in hand. And T may be looking to just end this immediately, but no momentum. Great stall there by Zomba. Can he continue to pile on that pressure?
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for an apple right now. That is, okay, there it is.
You found it.
Yep, there's the apple. Almost going to kill, but just not quite enough. And now, once again, the apple is charged up. This is, all right, as a Pac-Man player, you are constantly looking for these percents because this is the percent when apple kills, and then you're just like, all right, I'm going to throw it out a million times, and eventually it's going to hit, and you're going to die for it. So T is ready for that, but it seems like Zomba has been prepared to dodge these apples, except for that one time that he got hit. And an apple a day is keeping the Zomba away right now.
The question is, can you even keep Zomba away, right? Like, this guy is the initiator when it comes to games, using that gyro as well to take back some stage control, taking away the trampoline.
Bouncing.
It might just all fall apart for T here if Zomba can time one down air, but no, timing not on his side. T back in the upper hand.
Yeah, and just setting up so well, you know, but if Zomba completely avoids the setup, who cares, right? Like, you're going way to the sky. T can't cover that. He doesn't have the vertical mobility, but the hydrant will trade, and even though T got hit with the gyro, ain't gonna matter if you get hit with that, the big hydrant, the big meaty one.
Yeah, that awareness is really key to always keep track of that hydrant. It's almost like Snake C4, and speaking of that character, Chase on the board against Chronos, got one done. I'm going to get to it. I just wanted to point out where that set has gone. But I was going to say, even more important to point out is the fact that we talked about MVD making some really big adaptations, and has certainly done so against Quinn, having a 3-stock to 1 lead. Quinn finally got that first one on the board, but you will need a whole lot more than that to shut down whatever MVD has cooked up for this game number 3.
Yeah, and adaptations also coming out of Yoshifu down here. As we can see, he's close on this last stock. The last few games were a little bit in Hand's favor, but Yoshifu has been able to make some adaptations and get a couple big hits. And oh man, almost limit though. That's always scary when you're Belmont against Quinn's Cloud, because the limit can just annihilate your stock so early. And speaking of annihilating your stock, F Smash is forced to air dodge, but
wow. Amazing recovery by Yoshifu. Caught a huge break, only getting hit by the activation of that Blade Beam, and holding onto the jump was so key. Cross is not going to set up into a KO just yet, and does continue to maintain control of the stage. Enhanced PV finally battling his way out of that disadvantage with Belmont at 104. Once you push him to the corner, a back air is going to be enough to take the game, but can't find it. Yoshifu hanging on by a thread.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Enhanced been so good at finding that. We saw that 3 or 4 times in the earlier games where he would just catch that one angle that you can come back at, and you know, when you're enhanced, you know exactly where he has to come back to, because you can hit him super low with that back air, and then he just has only one option to come back for Yoshifu. So if you're ready for it, it's over.
Well, the winner of that set being Enhanced PV, now awaiting the results of the run back from Super Smash Con Grand Finals. Onan and Meister are going to be playing at some point in that winner's side set to determine who's making it into top 16. So that will be a challenge no matter who they have to face down. Rest assured, Enhanced PV looking like they are up to the challenge after that win. Do need to note a couple of other top players, though, that are really going at it right now, trying to stay alive in the tournament. Talked at length about T and Zomba, and again, just how much T seemed to be in control of the game. But again, most of those games, T has really been able to maintain a lead for a while, but he is having to make the comeback. Finally does with that confirm off of the bell, but Zomba definitely making this pace go a lot faster.
It's the classic. I swear, I don't know how it happens every time. For some reason, every time T picks up that Galaxian, they always run into him in the corner. I'm like, how do you not know that he has the Galaxian in hand? And if you get hit by this, they're taking 50. Just don't go over there. Let him get the stage back. It's okay. It is way better than you giving him 50%, because now he hit you with one more combo and you're in kill percent.
you just forget that this is Zomba, man. I mean, he absolutely wants to run up and fight at any given opportunity. He wants to play the game on his pace. He is the director from Whiplash, right? Are we going to play Smash, or are you going to be on my freaking time? And he is absolutely trying to make that happen, but falling victim to the bell. It seemed like he would get one
My
on
time
the board,
now.
but yeah. Cowbell, all of it. T getting the dub over Zomba, and Space Station's big robot is unfortunately eliminated at 25th. And T continuing a pretty monster losers run right down there. We'll see how that develops, but before we get to any more of that, we do have one set that is continuing to be played. Obviously, down to the bottom right, we have Chase and Chronos running into Game 4, but MVD and Quinn as well in that Palu and Snake matchup already in the midst of this Game 4, and again, MVD is the one way in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup where it's so hard to make a comeback as Palu, and it's actually not that bad to make a comeback as Snake. It's like, it's tough because, you know, as Palu, you are always trading, right? You're almost always trading with, you're trading with auto reticle versus grenade. You're trading with forward air versus grenade. And Snake can also like rack up percent super quickly, but you have to be really judicious in your aggression, and still you have to make sure you're not falling for anything like that, because look at this. MVD is already ahead 76% on this last stock and getting the jabs. Oh, almost saw something nasty set up.
Down throw and looking for a crazy tech chase right there, actually immediately going for the up tilt, but we are looking down the barrel of a Game 5. Absolutely no doubt at this point. Quinn does get one stock, but the comeback right here, pretty much an insurmountable lead for MVD. It's more or less just a matter of when and not if we're going to get that Game 5, but hey, don't let me curse it. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, probably didn't see the down throw. Oh, didn't get a punish out of it, but now that's the percent over one. What is it? 155 where you can get it?
160.
160? Okay.
Yeah, and that was pretty clean for MVD, and the reason that he didn't mash that up tilt the first time is just because it was ambiguous as to whether or not that down tilt was actually going to be enough to guarantee that up tilt if Quinn started mashing some sort of tech option, but that will go to a Game 5. Question being, will Chase and Chronos also go to Game 5? It looks like it just might not. Chronos not able to get the momentum that he had in that one game win where he really just ran over Chase. Hasn't been able to establish anything else. San Diego's Palutena is absolutely a terrifying scene if you consider between Quinn and Chase.
Yeah, exactly. They're both here. They're both on screen and they're both for Snake. But I don't know. I feel like this matchup is a lot easier to come back for as Snake. Like, Snake has a lot of options to rack up percent really quickly, get early kills, and okay, he can get back here to the face too. But I don't know. I still am not going to count out Chronos here. I think there's certainly a possibility that he can make something happen.
Well, we've seen Chronos do these crazy things before. I mean, again, we talked about how he is on the more aggressive end of Snakes, right? Knowing that he has the tools to be able to do that, you just have to be very, very precise in your spacing. And if you're not against a character like Palutena, who's much more mobile than you are as a Snake, you're going to eat a lot of damage in return. And that has really been the deciding factor in these games for Chronos. He hasn't had the lead.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Chronos is trying to fight off the aggression from Chase, but Chase is just always in his face, ready, and it's like, okay, we can trade. I'm ahead of stock. I don't care if I'm eating a grenade. You're eating a grenade and a forward air.
You get a grenade, and you get a grenade, and you get a grenade. Everybody's getting one, and especially with these two games we got going on between two Snakes. I mean, that was a solid two between Snakes.
True. I mean, right now, though, MVD is ahead in the top left, and Chronos is behind, so the Snakes are not twinning. But okay, here's the Nikita. Tries to go for an aggressive one, but really nice recovery there for Chase. Chronos was trying to catch the 2-frame with the counter, but the explosive flame is gonna get it done. Okay, Chase 2 stocks on Chronos and is gonna qualify for top 16. That one was one match ahead of all the other ones, as that is going to be it for Chase for today. You will be seeing him tomorrow at 11 a.m. Make sure to tune in then.
Chase very well may be playing in 2 top 16s tomorrow, because I do believe that Chase is also entered in the Arcadian, and I think unless this took precedent. Okay, so I've just been told that you actually have to pick, so Chase decided, well, I'm going to do the main bracket. Turns out that worked out really well for him. Top 16 of the main bracket at Mainstage 2022. Now we have to see if he will be joined by Quinn, if he can make a massive comeback, but it just seems like from Game 3 to Game 5, MVD has had a 3-stock to 1 lead every single time.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it at the beginning. MVD is an adaptation master. I mean, when you've been playing the game as long as he have, when you have this type of experience, it definitely comes with the turf. And you talk about he's slower, more methodical, but that also means he has more time to figure out what's going on with Quinn and figure it out. He certainly has. And now the yeet will not be enough. 200% for Snake, and Quinn has been struggling to find a kill this game.
It's all about finding that final KO move and just hasn't been able to. MVD's spacing and his positioning has been phenomenal. Caught on that platform. Quinn finally gets one, and the crowd's starting to get loud for him. Again, this is SoCal local. They want to see him thrive.
Okay, but right now, this is really difficult to make thrive, and has that grenade in hand. MVD dropping another one, but okay, picks up the nair. This is exactly what you want as your first hit, as Palu gets a triple nair, but no further follow-up, and now at the Super Saiyan percent, and it knocked out of it almost immediately with that grenade. It is a Nikita coming for you. I mean, making a full figure 8 here. What is he showing us? The infinity of his mind?
That has always been MVD's favorite move, and in this game, the C4 as well. Quinn's run will be shut down by Las Vegas' finest. MVD running a reverse 3-0 and running it pretty dominantly in that set. So one of the Palu Snake matches ends up in the Palu's favor, the other one pretty clearly in the Snakes as well. So MVD looking real nice.
Yeah, how many screens do you see?
I see 4.
Ah, I see.
Actually, I see 5 because we're there as well.
Ah, come on. It was a C4 joke. You can't take that away from me.
Oh, I see. Hey, another fun coincidence about this weekend is that Apollo Kage was in Pool C4, which I thought was very funny.
I saw that. I cracked. He like ran up to me and was like, I'm in C4. I'm like, yeah, you are,
What do you mean you're in C4? It's like, oh, okay.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Apollo Kage, an amazing person, just always excited. I feel like he is the most like energetic and excited about the game, and I've never seen him be like, oh man, I hate this character. Oh man, I hate this match. He's always like, I'm gonna figure it out.
He is full positive, right?
Massive positive.
He will not only see the glass half full, he will not only even see the glass entirely full. He sees 2 glasses in front of him. He's got double vision. I love Apollo Kage, dude.
Apollo Kage out here double fisted. You know, he's got 2 glasses in hand. He's drinking from both. And,
actual real life Monkey D. Luffy. actually.
And yeah, I mean, top 16 winner's side for him. Going to be fighting against this Mona tomorrow. Really excited to see that match. I mean, this is a really interesting top 16. I think this is certainly not something we would have expected coming into it. I mean, Big D versus Kurama right up there. Big D making some big upsets on the way in. Obviously, 3-0ing Light notably, and has to fight Kurama, and then Apollo Kage versus Desmona, and Ouch versus Tweak. I mean, I think Tweak is the only one who was seeded there out of all of those players. Yeah. I think Kola was seeded over Kurama. I mean, I know Desmona made like 6 upsets to get here, and Apollo Kage also made some upsets on the way, so really, really cool to see that. Actually, I don't know. Apollo Kage might have been seeded there.
I know that Apollo Kage is very, very good. Maybe true. By the way, in case you didn't get your fill of Palu versus Snake, get to watch another Palu versus Snake match. Chag and MVD are now going to be playing as a top 16 qualifier. Also, as an update from the winner's bracket, Meister was able to take down Onan in the SmashCon runback 3-2. So enhanced PV is going to go up against Onan in maybe one of the youngest cumulative age matchups I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, combining up to like under 30 probably.
Yeah.
What?
2
combining. Yeah, they're both 1 year old.
Yeah.
Exactly. That makes sense.
They were born this year.
Wow, congratulations.
It's crazy how quickly people can get good at this game.
Amazing. I saw somebody play before they were born.
Really?
I saw him playing last year, so therefore,
Mango
before
baby.
he was born.
Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah, the prenatal matches online. I mean, I didn't know they had Wi-Fi in there, but good for him.
Well, we'll see. This is definitely going to be. These are 2 people who are very like well-traveled, well-respected individuals, kind of kings of fundies between MVD and Chag, right? These 2, I mean, just so deeply play this game in a way that everything is really, really well thought out. And again, another Palu Snake matchup. I mean, MVD's got to start getting tired of this.
I mean, he's warmed up for it. He's probably ready. I think he's probably glad that he was able to have a Palu before Chag to fight, because that helps you a lot. Just having a little bit of warm-up versus the character, knowing the options they have, and knowing like their ranges and their hitboxes. Not, I mean, obviously Chag and Quinn would be playing significantly differently, but at the same time, like, they have the same moves, so you know exactly what they can do and exactly what spaces they can threaten.
Well, the Reflect does come out from Chag. It's not always the most useful move because the grenades will explode regardless. A lot of people will simply opt to, I mean, one, not engage with the grenades, but two, you'll often see them toss them back at the Snake as well to try to use it as their own method of stage control. To see who is going to be the one to at least get out to the lead here. Looks like it might be MVD as his favorite best friend, Nikita Missile, comes out to help him secure that first stock and playing very, very healthy with that percentage as well.
That was a little spicy there with that F-tilt 1 into down smash, catching that air dodge in. Love to see a little bit of creativity in the Snake combos. I know Paul Kage is a big proponent of the jab confirms, but Snake has a lot of crazy options. Oh yeah, he's just like, all right, you down smash in, I'm gonna respect that. Not gonna worry about it. Just gonna set up my own wall here.
And MVD definitely, oh my god, he is actually getting crazy reads on Chag too. Like the way that he is finding the movement, and he's always a step ahead. Sometimes the timing's just been a little bit off, but you can tell he knows exactly where Chag is going to be in so many of these sort of tricky scramble situations that he sets up for.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a testament to like the experience of a player like MVD. He is like you said, well-traveled, understands this game. He's a student of it. And he's been playing for so long that he knows exactly what type of options so many different people go for in so many circumstances. So really amazing job here for MVD, and he is starting off hot in this game. Explosive even.
I'll give it up. I'll give it up. You got it. You have to get at least one of those in. And when it comes to MVD, certainly.
Look at that jab into grenade into Nair, doing 56% almost. And now it's just more of like what I said before, where it's so hard to come back in this matchup as Palutena. You know, you get like 1 or 2 grenades, and then suddenly you've taken so many percent in. Normally, your combos are like the way you get back into it. You have those Nair up airs, but you know, against Snake, a lot of times they will not work because he'll pull out of a grenade with that frame 1 option and end up trading with one of those multi-hits.
Chag has to be really, really careful with how he's jumping around MVD like this. Great catch on that high recovery. The up smash is enough to break the Nikita, or rather the Cypher.
Yeah.
Remember, there's so many names.
Yeah,
so many I call myself a Metal Gear fan.
Fair enough. It's all right. Sometimes you can just, I don't know, I get those two confused at the same way. It's just like
they
sometimes
both sound cool.
Right.
Sometimes I just got to give it up. Chag on that last stock, MVD, I mean, definitely forcing Chag to respect the spaces that he's controlling. Half shield on Chag, staying aggressive though, that lingering hitbox, buying him a little bit more damage. MVD had the read, but again, just like half a second off on the timing, and Chag is able to hold on to his stock because of it.
Is that a sticky? I think this is sticky on Chag's feet. Yep, there it was. And it's gonna fall off, but you know, still something to consider is when you're in shield is like you're not always safe. That sticky can still stick you through the feet, through the shield. I think the sticky's on MVD right now, and he might be able to transfer it over. We'll see. It's hard to keep track of sometimes,
especially on the smaller screen too.
Yeah, exactly.
Struggling. MVD's shield is running so low too. He's being very, very careful about how he gets near Chag. There's that C4. It fell off just completely on the ground. Yeah.
Off. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I talked about how difficult it was to make a comeback as a Palutena, but I mean, Chag is showing us a clinic on exactly how to do so. Catches the double jump with the forward air, and wow, Chag, methodical, well-placed moves, and really just an impressive showing here. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that out of the other matches. I mean, every match that Palu won, it was through a lead the entire game. They never gave it up. That time, Chag was down almost an entire stock. So really, really impressive there.
Chag is one of the only Palus I watch where I really feel like he can actually make those kinds of comebacks. I mean, just, again, most of the time she's not really built for that, but Chag has the eye of the tiger. So too does Onan, by the way. This Onan versus Enhanced PV set is already down to last stock for Enhanced, and Onan's got those diamond tools as well, really in control of the game here. Enhanced obviously not going to let it go just yet. Cloud is a tough nut for Steve to crack, and Enhanced PV giving him some trouble, but this is, after all, Onan that we're talking about.
Yep, and getting that scoop, getting that up smash, and I gotta say, Enhanced PV is very familiar with the Steve matchup. I mean, he has played a ton of tournaments online. That was his proving grounds, and online is filled with these Steve players. So I wouldn't be surprised if Enhanced PV and Onan have several matches under their belt against each other already online. But in person, a little bit of a different factor. There's different things going on. There's a lot of pressure from these crowds, I'm sure, who are popping off for their respective homies. So we'll see if that's going to get to Enhanced, or if Onan, who's won an entire giant major before, is going to be the one to come out on top.
I just saw, by the way, again, I mentioned that they were taking like the top 16 photos in front of us. We just saw Meister over here. He has one of the most delightful smiles in the entire scene.
Yeah, Meister's
he walks around and he looks like he has fun just existing.
He lights up a room, I swear, with his smile. It's just like, I know. It's a pleasure to interact with.
He is such a great guy. I'm so glad that he's still around. Obviously, Winterside top 16 for him as well. And we talked about this earlier, right? Onan's the one that had to suffer the loss to Meister, who got that run back, and that is why he is fighting against Enhanced PV at this moment in time. Already up 1-0. I mean, the pace of that match is very quickly caught up to MVD and Chag's match, which, again, been very methodical, started quite a bit before them, and yet the game's pretty much about even in pace.
Yeah, Onan stalled out almost the entirety of Cloud limit there, but an unfortunate ST for Enhanced PV. Yeah, I mean, Onan using the very corner of the grid for these blocks just to, make it so, all right, if you come at me, I'm gonna hit you with something nasty. But you can't approach me. But at the same time, I can hang out here for as long as I need to. I got mats for days. So I really like that plan against the limit, because Cloud, a character that is something that you have to have good plans against as Steve, as he is often considered the worst matchup. And we see right now, look, he's just using empty down B, and okay. Suddenly just decided to up B in for some reason. I'm not sure why, but used empty down air a bunch of times to stall, as well as building up those blocks.
I think Onan was looking to go straight from the ledge, just didn't find the opportunity to do it. Nonetheless, though, he is still playing with a pretty big lead, had the diamonds available as well. Again, like you mentioned, trying to time out the limit. There is no timing out the limit here, though, because the limit is being pushed by Enhanced PV 80% in just a single sequence, and the finishing touch to do it. Oh my god, like you said, Enhanced PV, no stranger to this matchup.
Absolutely. Pulled out the finish him and just Mortal Kombat right on top of him. I mean, that was an incredible way to close out that extended edge guard scenario. So amazing job for Enhanced PV.
He was like a second away from tossing him into the TNT as well. And speaking of explosives, MVD able to get a win over Chag, sending that one to one apiece. We'll have to see if that one will once again go the way of MVD with that adaptation over the course of a set, because we saw that very dominantly against Quinn earlier. But at the moment, got this owned in an Enhanced PV game, and that one also going to 1-1 as Enhanced PV. Again, with a couple of big moments, really let that shift the tide of that game too.
2 stocks one way, 2 stocks the other way. It seems like both these players have, they have levels that they're pulling out, and we'll see if they have enough in the tank to keep going, because this has been a long day for a lot of these players. They got here maybe at 10 a.m., maybe at 12, and they have been having to fight through a lot of adversity to get here, and now we're almost sitting at 10 p.m., so I know I'm tired. I think a lot of these players are definitely feeling the length of this day so far. By the way, shout out to Red Bull for, keeping us energized.
You mentioned being tired, and I was like, right, I should take a sip.
Yeah, I just finished my Red Bull already, but it's definitely helped me get through this vlog.
Chag and MVD starting up this Game 3 on Town and City. This is Chag's counterpick, and it is certainly a place where Palutena can take advantage of those smaller side blast zones. Obviously, she's pretty well split between KOing off the top and off the side, but against a heavier character like Snake, and especially one who has so many tools to deal with that up air, particularly, just the grenades making it so unsafe, Chag is definitely going to be looking overall for a lot more KOs off the side anyways. Town and City, definitely a stage he's going to appreciate having available.
All right, they have decided we are going to play at full stage. and Chag is like, I'm just going to keep countering when I need to, and you have nothing you can do that will hit me. I don't have to hit any buttons. I'm ahead. I'm ahead 100%.
And as long as the damage keeps racking up on MVD, right, eventually stray hit will do it, and that back air will. So Chag playing with the lead. But again, we talked about the difference in pace of games. Look at Onan and Enhanced PV already ahead of them.
Yeah, I think they're at the exact same, almost the exact same time in it, but it seems like Onan is really racking up this percent with a huge combo, 90%, and goes for the forward air finishing touch. What was he cooking?
Definitely just trying to get it off of a bounce on the platform. It's something that I saw Nico do at Lost Tech City, where I remember Nico told me, specifically the Cloud Nico, not the,
yeah, I know,
not the SoCal Nico, but for the people who don't.
All right, sorry.
But regardless, he said that Spargo, he showed Spargo that combo, and Spargo was like, yeah, that'll never work. And then obviously he hit that in tournament, and I think that Enhanced PV was looking for the same thing, but just didn't get the bounce that he needed. So Onan definitely catching a big break there and playing with a pretty sizable lead now, considering the resources he has.
Yeah, I think one thing to note is there's no more pickaxe here. So, okay, yeah, it's not going to matter. He's going to build it up on this next stock, but he wasn't able to use that, and that might have been a contributing factor to why he fell right there. So, lost a couple options, only able to throw the punches out on the forward air and the back air. And now, it's just relatively even. Onan has been charging up these materials, but now he's in the advantage state. He has done so well. Oh, that was an interesting down tilt. I think it meant to be a down smash. It's usually what he goes for when he lands on that TNT, but perhaps going for a little bit of a mix-up, unsure.
It could be that he would have seen Enhanced PV like playing with some kind of spacing or respect for the TNT, and you could get a pretty decent combo setup off of that. Regardless, this game is also getting really close.
He's baiting it out. Oh, wow. Somehow managing to avoid that setup that Onan loves so much, where he throws the TNT on the small battlefield platform, and now we have almost no resources, no iron left. Oh, just one or two picked up, but no pickaxe, and this is so scary. The limit is here, and he is able to charge. Oh, he's able to build up the diamond barely in time, in the wrong direction for the limit blade beam. This is scary. Don't run over there and get grabbed.
Again, we know what that block right there means, and oh my goodness, Enhanced PV with the call out of the set, taking a 2-1 lead over Onan, who may just go out before top 16, and I'm surprised to say that could be the same for MVD, as Chag, right at the same moment, is able to take that game 3 as well.
Yeah, didn't get to see much of that match because we were focused on the right one, but I mean, Chag getting an up tilt to secure that last stock, as MVD was just, kept the game respectable, relatively close. But at the same time, Chag was able to clutch it. That's really what matters in the end. We'll see if Chag will do his best Louis Money impression and clutch it right at the end, or if MVD can, be that adaptation master that we know him to be.
For Chag's sake, you'd hope it's not a Louis Money impression, because Luis is Mr. Game 5.
True.
I'm not talking about Luis's skill. I'm just saying a Game 5 is not where you want to be when you got the 2-1 lead.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Oh, man. It's so hard right now to like choose between these two matches, because we can't really pay attention to both of them, but both of them have been so exciting so far. So nice.
We need somebody with glasses, because I wish I had 4 eyes. That was terrible. BTS, right. Please fire me.
Yeah. Please remove them from the commentary desk.
they said noted.
Noted. Oh, man. Yeah, they're coming for you. Oh, yeah, we'll just cast both games. Oh, you cast the left one, I'll cast the right one. At the same time, nothing bad can happen.
What we in the industry refer to as audio poison.
I prefer to say simulcasting.
That's a different thing, and Crunchyroll will have you know, but...
Oh, man.
The other industry that I partake in, aside Onan and Enhanced PV right now, this is turning into a heck of a set. Onan in the lead at the moment against Enhanced PV and starting to build up his resources. Got the diamond ready for the second stock, and Tech chases on the platform as well. Just probably going to try to finish out this stock as much as he can without crafting another pickaxe, because again, you want to save that diamond for that second stock.
Absolutely, and we'll see right now. Tries to go for the block place down smash, one of Onan's favorites, and down smash being such a good angle to send at for Cloud. I don't know. I feel like this set is a little bit of a slobber knocker. It's so back and forth. Both these players having crazy comebacks, and also just like extending an advantage state so long. I mean, finally going to get that stock, but 89% already on enhanced PV. This is definitely a slobber knocker, officially declared.
And that back air absolutely working out for Onan right there, taking a full stock lead. Enhanced PV, though, we have seen him be happy to play aggressive even when Onan has got resources available, just relying on that sword to do a lot of the heavy lifting for him and realize, right, it takes care of minecart. I can trade with Anvil if I need to, and it's absolutely impeccable for demolishing blocks. And look at this, enhanced PV, confidence deserved, well deserved, I would say.
Absolutely. As we head over to this left game for a quick second, MVD and Chag are sitting once again at this full stage position where both of them are like, all right, I ain't gonna run at you if you don't run at me. And MVD is gonna get the better of it so far. Just one hit required, 143%. Chag has been surviving for so long. He worked back to the stage 3 times. How does he keep getting away with it?
I saw this when he was playing the Paluditto against Chase earlier. Chag will bluff that he is going to teleport to center stage, but goes right back to the ledge. He will do that over and over because he does not generally tend to go high. Nikita gave him an incentive not to, and that is why he dropped that stock. So MVD playing with the lead, looking to push it to a game 5. So too is Onan right now, as enhanced PV sitting at 130%. And like you said, blocks, lava, all of it to cover. That game is going to a game 5 between Onan and enhanced PV. So let's shift our focus to MVD and Chag. We're last stock apiece, and Chag just needs one more to secure his day 3 spot.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about, like I said, how difficult it is to make a comeback versus Snake, but we've seen how Chag was so proficient in being able to do that, being able to secure early stocks, being able to catch out MVD when he's a little bit too aggressive with that Cypher. But now the pressure is on for Chag as he's at 101%, just sort of letting MVD approach him, which is a little bit opposite to what we normally see in this matchup. But Chag has a different plan, but everybody's got a plan till they get kicked in the face.
Everybody gangsta until they get kicked in the face.
Absolutely. That unreasonably flexible Snake is going to be enough to take that game and to take it to game 5. Both these 2 sets are in the deciding game now, and this is deciding day 3. There's a lot on the line for these 4 players.
Speaking of decisive, in case you're on mobile and you've just got this stream up and you don't have the squad stream available if you're on desktop, and also welcome if you're coming over from the main stream. I would assume that they are pushing another losers match over here. Maybe they've got the last one available, but Spargo just won his set over Cosmos on the main stream, so he has punched his ticket to day number 3.
On the winner's side.
On the winner's side as well, Cosmos will be taking on T, a big run back of Lodyssey right there in the losers bracket. A lot of really big runbacks before top 16 even happens, but we will see how those turn out. Right now, these are the 2 ahead of us. It's enhanced PV and Onan, as well as Chag and MVD. Both of these games down to a game 5 to determine who gets to play tomorrow.
Yeah, and right now Onan with the nils right there, setting up into a nice up smash, and it is basically dead even. A little bit aggressive of a forward smash, and now the Onan setup, the classic, where he just puts that TNT there, but it didn't even activate at that time with the up tilt for some reason, was just opting to try to cover the landing. And yeah, that is, you cannot be going that low versus Onan. He's going to be able to block that every time. And nice tech. Onan is setting up once again. Oh, nice tackle in, though. Not getting hit with the classic dash attack after the back air at low percents.
Gold tools might be really key for Onan right here as well, if he's able to hold on to this stock for a little bit, because you see the frame data. He doesn't care that you back air to shield as a cloud because he's got those gold tools. 73%. Tried to activate the TNT, but great reaction by enhanced PV, evening up the set at 2-2. And in the other game, things not quite so even. Chag with a very cavernous lead against MVD on his first stock still, and MVD getting close to dropping that second stock already.
Yeah, I mean, MVD, though, like I said, has that ability to make these comebacks. If he just gets 1 or 2 big openings, could be it, but once you're 3 stocks to 1, that's a little bit different of a story. And right now, oh man, this is looking very close on the right side. Okay, we'll see. Is he able to get it? Oh, this is the Gimmer setup.
Oh yeah, he's got everything at the end, and yeah, it will take down enhanced PV. Onan also 1 stock away from getting his day 3 punched.
For those who don't know, that's the Gimmer setup that covers every single option. If you have enough time to set all of that up, you place the TNT at roll distance, jab it as you walk back, set it, and then set up block and an anvil on top of it, and then react with grab. It'll hit every single option that they can go for.
MVD moments away from losing his final stock here on the game on the left of your screen at 110%. Chag closing in on his win here. Closing in on his day 3 top 16 appearance. MVD still hanging tough all the way down at that middle stage distance. And again, like you said earlier, Chag knows he does not have to approach this kind of gameplay.
Yeah, he is content to sit back and not even throw any moves out. Like he's not trying to get any more percent. He doesn't need anything. All he needs is to wait. Wait for there to be one mistake from MVD, but if he's too aggressive, sometimes you can fall to an axe kick.
Enhanced PV with a really big setup on the right screen as well. Both of these games closing in on their end, and Onan with a powered rail minecart gets the win over Enhanced PV on a final stock in Game 5.
Oh no! Wow, just one minecart was all it took, and Onan punches his ticket to day 3.
One more game to determine here then, MVD and Chag. And Chag ever so close to finishing it out here, 153% on MVD.
Yeah, I mean, we're just one big hit away, but I've talked about it before. Snake can absolutely make comebacks, but the shield is going to be so good. Oh, okay, that jab might do it as well. And yes, sir, MVD falls. Chag punches his ticket to day 3. Another Palu in day 3. What year is it?
It appears to be 2022, at least I would think so, because I can look right down here and see it says Mainstage 2022, apparently.
Yeah, we got 3 Palus in top 16. Luis, Chase, and Chag all here.
2 of them had to beat Snakes to do it.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Chase and Chag, they are going to have to play each other in losers in top 16, so I'm sure they're not going to be happy about it, but, you know, that's
a run back from winners, too.
Oh, that's even worse. They're going to doubly limb each other.
They played to make it into top 64 in their pool, and now they get to do it again in top 16. That is a crazy, crazy run back, and that was a really close set all the way through as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it be, you know, when you play each other that early. Sometimes you gotta do it again. And both these players, such an incredible showing today, and I hope to see more out of them tomorrow. That is going to be, I believe, it. I think production cut back to us because I think we're done. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jet the Jenga God. You can check me out at Twitter right here.
I guess I can take it. I'm also Kimona. Yeah, you can check me out on Twitter. I mean, I'm just happy to be able to be here tomorrow for one more amazing day of Mainstage 2022. This has been, so far, one of the best weekend celebrations of Smash I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing, and we get to have it all come to a head tomorrow with the Arcadian Top 4, Ultimate Top 16, and running into Ultimate Top 8, and of course, Melee Top 8 and Top 16 as well. You don't want to miss any of those. You want to make sure that you're tuned into all of the channels that you've seen all weekend, because BTS is putting on an amazing production where you will get to see all of that top-level action.
Absolutely. We'll be live again, I believe, at 11 a.m. tomorrow Pacific time. And I want to do a quick thank you to our sponsors. We got HyperX, Red Bull, Coinbase, Aces, and Papa John's all here, all supporting Smash Brothers at the highest level. And BTS, obviously, bringing everyone together to make this event happen. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 11 a.m.
Now make sure you join us there. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hope we'll see you next time, and hope we will see you soon.
Peace.